Hello and welcome to Livewire Buy, Hold, Sell. I'm Ali Selby and today we are talking the spicy end of the market. That's right, we're talking micro caps. They're cheap, they're cheerful, but how do you distinguish the darlings from the duds? Well, to do that, I'm joined by James Doherty from Lennox Capital Partners and Nick Godera from Airlie Griffiths Group. First up, we have Elmo Software. It's the furthest thing from Sesame Street possible. It's a SaaS company and it's got a market cap just shy of 500 million. James, I might start on you. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a sell. Look, it competes in a very competitive part of the market. Revenue has been growing organically, but so have the capitalisation rates of its R&D and the useful life of its intangible assets. If you look at the cash flow losses have been growing steadily every year.
Nick, it's about to drop off the S&P Small Ords Index when the S&P rebalances at the end of the month. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I think it's a hold for me. I agree with James. It certainly had its challenges, particularly through COVID. Organic growth slowed, churn rose, operating leverage really hasn't been demonstrated in the last 3 or 4 years. But I think there's a possibility that it could well be a vaccine beneficiary as businesses start to reinvest in processes. But I'd like to see a better risk reward.
Next up we have Autosports Group and we'll stay on you, Nick. Sure. Everyone seems to be jumping in their car and going on holidays and buying new cars, everyone but me. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I think it's a hold. I think you've seen a very strong recovery in both the share price and the auto market. Those numbers have just started to slow a little bit in February. That's not to say they can't continue. They've benefited from a really strong used car market and high margins in that business. And there's a decent kind of inventory lack of inventory, I should say, in the market. I think that our concerns is just concentration of brands in the high end, and it's largely been an acquisition-driven story rather than organic. So for us, it's a hold.
James, it's currently trading at quite close to its all-time high. For you, is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a hold for us and largely because of the share price appreciation. So look, the business is in a good space at the moment because of new car sales have come back, but we are cautious that the expanded margin that they've managed to achieve, largely due to a lack of inventory in new cars, will revert over the medium term.
Next up we have Capital Health. They run 63 diagnostic imaging clinics across the country. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a buy for us. I mean, this is a business that has a history of a lot of acquisitions, not doing a great job of integrating them and then having a pretty checkered operational past. We think that's all changed with a new management team. They've integrated a lot of the legacy acquisitions. They've spent a lot of time focusing on managing people and retaining people, which is really important for a business like this. And you're seeing the results in the first half result we had in February.
Nick, it listed in June 2006 and hasn't done that well for shareholders since.
Yep.
Is it going to explode from here on in? Is it a buy, hold or sell?
I think for us it's a hold. It's certainly had a very strong half. It has had a checkered history and a variety of management teams. They're clearly benefiting from improved margins and I think they managed to still grow volumes in a tough Victorian operating environment in the second half. That still looks pretty positive, I think, for this half. I think for us though, we prefer Integral Diagnostics, which is got higher margins. It's another diagnostic imaging play in the space, just because they focus on higher modalities and we like the management track record.
We'll stay on you. Next up we have Aussie Broadband.
Yes.
It provides NBN services to residential homes and businesses. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a buy for us. This is one of those emerging telcos that have come onto the market in the back half of last calendar year. They're taking a significant amount of share from the majors.
It's still quite small though, isn't it? Like 3.5%?
It is, yeah, 3.5%.
Yeah.
But I think they're taking north of 10% of all subscribers to NBN, and largely doing that on the back of really strong customer service and a really strong internet service experience as well. And I think customers are demanding that significantly. These guys are also spending a lot on their network, which will ultimately drive the operating leverage in their business, and we like what management are about.
James, over to you. Its share price is up around 50% since it listed in October. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
No, it's a buy for us as well, largely because of the points that Nick made. if we really like the management team. Importantly, the management team didn't sell a share in the IPO. They've drifted a little bit out since, but they're still large shareholders in the business. If you take that number that Nick quoted you of around 10% of NBN churn, if they do nothing else but just maintain that share and let the natural operating leverage that exists in this business play out, this business will be making in excess of $50 million EBITDA in the next couple of years.
I'll definitely be making notes of that. Next up, we have Pentanet.
Yes.
It listed earlier this year. Is it a buy, hold or sell?
It's a buy as well. Look, it's a very similar business to Aussie Broadband. It's an ISP. There's only so many ways you can really differentiate yourself as an ISP. It's latency and customer service. They've got a fixed wireless network, their own infrastructure, which means they get great speed. And they've got local call centres, which means you get great service, and they continue to take share. The management team, the Cornish brothers, they actually sold their house to start this business and haven't sold a share into IPO.
How about for you, Nick? Is it a buy, hold or sell?
Yeah, it's a buy for us. It reminds us a lot of iiNet in the early days, another Perth ISP. The former CEO is chairman. They share similar colours, and they've got a significant focus on customer service. As James touched on, the fixed wireless model that they're pioneering, the technology out of Facebook, I think, is a pretty interesting space, and one that the majors are probably watching pretty closely to see if they can improve the quality of NBN speeds through fixed wireless technology. They've also got a decent opportunity in the gaming space through their partnership with NVIDIA, which is pretty amazing given NVIDIA is a NASDAQ listed company. This is an emerging microcap that ultimately has been able to negotiate a partnership for 12 months to see them utilise that gaming technology over time. So I think it's a buy for us, and one that we're watching pretty closely, albeit in its early stages.
Well, that's all we have time for today. We hope you loved this episode of Buy, Hold, Sell. If you did, why not give it a like? Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an update.